record from my side, and let me share the screen. Okay, let me share the screen. Guys, any issues, any doubts? Any doubts in the last class? Everyone can hear me, right? Yeah, Shashi, you can record the session. Okay. Right. Okay. So in the last class, we discussed about the Windows Server installation, creating virtual machines, what is meant by virtual machine, what is meant by physical machine, what are the softwares we use to create virtual machines, okay, and how to create virtual machine and how to install Windows operating system. Once we create a virtual machine, how to install Windows operating system, right? So guys, what are the softwares are there to create virtual machines in the market? What softwares we have in the market to create virtual machines?
VMware, Oracle, and Hyper-V.
Yes, VMware, Oracle, and Hyper-V. These are the three virtualization softwares. Okay, so that you can use any of these three. Okay, we usually use this Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, and we have VMware and we have Hypervisor also. So it's your wish which software you are going to use, but our practice will be like on Oracle VirtualBox only. Complete practice will be on Oracle VirtualBox only. Right. So how to check whether virtualization is enabled or not in your laptop?
We can check through task manager.
Very good.
Go to task manager and then
Okay.
check performance where we can find the option
Okay.
virtualization enabled, and also
Okay.
we can check through while booting the computer.
Okay.
We can press F9 or F5 at
Mm-hmm.
that time of
It will go to the
booting.
BIOS settings. Okay, boot settings. In the boot settings or BIOS settings also, you are able to see whether virtualization is enabled or disabled. But guys, it's very important why virtualization should be enabled if you want to work with either VMware or VirtualBox or Hypervisor, any software. If you want to work with any of the softwares, virtualization softwares, that setting should be enabled in your BIOS level. Okay, so you know right how to enable it. Simply restart your laptop. Before coming back, immediately keep pressing either F9 or F10 or F2, depends upon your boot key, laptop boot key. Then it will go to the BIOS settings. Then you can see one tab, advanced tab or virtualization tab. Go to the tab, use your arrow keys, up arrow, down arrow, side arrow, like left arrow, right arrow. Use your arrow keys to go to that particular option. Select that and enter. You can see enabled or disabled. Select enabled option, and then you can see, okay, F10 save and execute. You just have to press F10 save and execute so that the settings will be saved. Okay, right? So this is how usually we are going to enable the BIOS settings, virtualization BIOS settings. So in case if anyone is facing trouble, you cannot share the screen. Why? Because the laptop will be in reboot, right? And it will be in BIOS settings. So you can directly do a video call to me. I'll help you how to enable those things and all. Clear, guys? Right? So everyone is clear, right? Yeah,
One
tell
thing,
me.
Chinnu.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, this is Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna, tell me.
Why don't you use in Hyper-V? We are both are working in Microsoft, right? Why don't you use in Hyper-V? You are
See,
using Oracle, right?
I am using Oracle only, so I am comfortable with Oracle VirtualBox only.
Yeah,
Okay,
both
I'm
are
not.
Microsoft versions. That's why it's very
See,
acceptable.
Microsoft
Why don't you
version.
use
See,
it?
the thing is, if Microsoft or non-Microsoft, that is different for us. Okay, so yesterday itself I told you that virtualization software might be anything. Either it is a VMware or it is a VirtualBox or hypervisor, also no issues. But I'm comfortable with Oracle VirtualBox. I'm not sure about the network settings and all in the hypervisor. You are good in the hypervisor. If you want, you can practice in the hypervisor.
Thank you. It's also free, of course.
Yeah. I know it's free of cost, but the reason why I choose this Oracle VirtualBox is it will run with minimum resources first thing. Okay, even though if you give 512 MB RAM also, at least some performance will be there for Oracle virtual machines. But I don't see that performance in the VMware or hypervisor. Okay, so performance wise, Oracle VirtualBox is comfortable when compared to other two softwares. Okay, again, it is not matter for us. Windows team or VM team will take care which VM software they want to use. So that's not an issue. As a DBS, okay, at the end of the day, whether Windows servers are available or not, that is the only thing we have to consider. Okay. So if you are comfortable with the hypervisor, we can do the same kind of things with the hypervisor. Fine. Right. Any other questions, guys?
Sir, can we connect through Oracle Box to hypervisor?
I'm not sure about Oracle VirtualBox to hypervisor. I'm not sure.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Hypervisor I never used. Earlier I used, but later, since 3 years, 4 years, I'm using this Oracle VirtualBox only. 1 minute, guys. 1 minute, please. Hello. Right. Okay. Fine. And let me leave it. Okay. Right. Yes. So on the last class we discussed about the. Please mute it. Please mute it. I'm getting a lot of disturbance, guys. Please mute it. In case if you don't have questions, you can be in mute. Okay. If you have questions, you can unmute and let me know. Okay. Fine. So yesterday we discussed how to create virtual machine, how to install Windows operating system and all, right? So let me start the machine. Okay. So again, when you install this Oracle VirtualBox, try to open Oracle VirtualBox with run as admin mode. Okay. So from today onwards, habituate this activity. Like whenever you are opening any application, like either SQL Server, SSMS Management Studio, or else like any software like this, okay, Oracle VirtualBox, try to open and set up files, SQL Server setup files, SQL Server patch files. Always tries to open with run as admin mode. Okay. So batch party, yesterday we just created this batch party machine, right? How to start this machine, guys? How to start this machine?
Double click.
Double click on the machine
Double
so that the machine is going to be
files.
started. Yeah. So you can double
I
click
will
on.
have a,
Yeah, you can select the machine and you can select start, normal start also you can choose. Okay. So in that way you can start the virtual machine, first thing. Okay. And second thing, yesterday we have installed a Windows Server 2012 operating system, right? Windows Server 2012 operating system. So after installation is completed, okay, we have to do two settings for enabling remote connections on this desktop. Okay, what is meant by remote connections? How we are going to connect to the servers in the organization? Okay, let me explain that one. In the meanwhile, the server is going to be started. So let me explain what is remote connections, how we'll connect in the organization. Okay, there are different if you go to some companies, they will follow different strategy connecting to the servers. If you go to some companies, they will follow different strategies. The common strategy is a remote desktop. Okay, what is that? A remote desktop. Okay, notepad, let me open notepad. RDP. Okay, remote desktop. Let me open new diagram and let me choose B40 diagrams. Okay, so we usually do RDP to the servers and we'll connect to the servers remotely. Okay, so let me explain what is this remote connections and all Windows RDPS. Okay, so for example, imagine this is your Windows server. Okay, this is your Windows server. This is your organization. Imagine this is your organization. Let me go with Windows server. Windows server. Okay, so any server you can choose. Let me go with this one. Imagine this is Windows 2012. Any version, the same procedure. There is no different procedure for different versions. Okay, as we have installed 2012, so I'm just mentioning Windows 2012 server. Okay, and this is your Windows 2012, right? We have Windows 2012 version, right? So this is your Windows 2012 server, and right. So now you want to connect to the server. This is in your company. This is your company. Might be this is like Infosys. Okay, let me name it as Infosys. Control B, and this is your Infosys company. Okay, so in the Infosys company, you will have your particular server, and now you want to connect to the server remotely. So usually people will follow 60% people. What they will do directly, they will do RDP. Okay, imagine this is your laptop. Okay. Okay, this is good. Okay, so let me go to this. I'll explain what if you are doing work from office. I'll explain what if you are doing work from home. Okay, first let me go to the work from office. Okay, so you went to the office. Okay, so now you are in Infosys location, Infosys office location. So now this is your work laptop. Okay, now you're in the office premises only. This is your work laptop. So how you are going to connect to the server, guys? How you will connect to the server? Now you want to connect to the server. When you can connect to the server, first of all? When
sir,
you
we
can
are
connect.
direct connected to the server, sir.
Sorry, we are.
These servers are installing in our system, sir.
Okay, so the main prerequisite is, remember guys, lot of servers will be there. That doesn't mean that you have access on all the servers, guys.
Yes.
Okay, lot of Infosys supporting lot of projects. Hundreds of projects are there for Infosys. That doesn't mean you can access all the server projects. No, you cannot access. By default, you cannot access. If you want access, they are going to provide extra permissions and all. By default, you cannot access the servers. They have to give you the permissions. You can access only your project related servers. You cannot touch other project servers and all. Okay. So if you are working from office, you have to you will be there in the office premises, right? Your laptop will be connected to the office network, internet. Okay. Your laptop will be connected to the internet, office internet. Let me check. Any icon is there. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. So this is your office internet. Imagine this is your office internet. Of course, your laptop, all servers and all, everything will be connected to your office internet. Okay. So your laptop, all the servers, everything will be connected to your office internet and all. As you're in office network, no issues. You can directly open your laptop and you can just hear. Okay. Here, what you can do is once you open your laptop, okay, no need of any VPN softwares. VPN softwares. What is this VPN, guys? Can anyone tell me? Virtual private network. Okay. Yeah. So if you are in office, no need to connect to your VPN softwares. You can directly open your laptop. If you are doing a direct remote connections, what you can do, just open run in your laptop, type RDP or remote or MSTS is the shortcut. Anything you can type simply here on the Windows button. You can simply type remote. Okay, you will get remote desktop connection. RDP or RDC, guys. Don't confuse. Okay, someone will call it as RDP. Mostly people will call it as RDP. Some people will call it as RDC. RDC means remote desktop connection. Okay, right? So RDP or RDC. How how to open this RDP interface? Just type RDP. Okay, you will get remote desktop connection. Or you can type remote. Simply you can type remote. You will get this tool. Okay, the blue computer tool. Okay, or simply we have a shortcut. Open Windows or type MSTSC. Okay, now also you will get the remote desktop connection tool. So now this is the tool. It is asking to which server you want me to connect. Lot of servers are there, right? To which if I want to call you, we have 13 participants in this class. If I want to call anyone, I have to use your name. Right? In case if you have any student ID, I have to use your student ID like roll numbers. Okay. So if I want to call you, either I have to use your name or I have to use your roll number. Right? In the same way, if you want to connect to the server, lot of servers are there. Which server you want to connect? I have to provide either server name here or I have to provide IP address of the server. Either server name or IP address of the server. Once you gave these details, now it will ask you to enter. It will check whether you are a verified user or not. It will ask you to enter username and password. There are special accounts will be there to access the servers. Once you go to the company, they are going to create accounts for you, or special accounts. They will create an elevated accounts for you. Elevated means a special account. Okay. And you can use those account details to log into the server. Clear, guys? Is it clear as of now? Any issues, any doubts here? Everyone? Simply, yeah. So, okay, simply what you are going to do, simply you will type RDP, okay, in the laptop, in your laptop, and then you will enter the username IP address first, then you will enter your username and password so that you can directly access the server. When if you have access on this production machine, production and non-production thing, if you have access on this server, then only you can access from your laptop. Once your work is completed, you are going to shut down your laptop, not server, guys. Don't shut down any servers. Don't shut down any servers. Okay. Once your work is done, log off from the server. Okay. Once your work is completed in the Gmail, what you will do? You will simply log out, right? In the same way, once your work is completed on this Windows server, simply you will log off. Okay, you will log off or sign out. Okay, there are different options. Simply you will log off from the server, and again you will shut down your laptop and you will come back to your home. Right? In some organizations, we will have a separate setup called jump servers. Okay, so we will have a separate setup called jump server. Just a minute, let me go with the any server. Okay, I'm just checking the best image. Okay, okay, that's fine, let it be. Okay, so in some organization you cannot directly connect to the please mute it if you don't have questions. Okay, so in some organizations you cannot directly connect to your Windows server. First you have to connect to your jump servers. Okay, there are some jump server softwares are there like Citrix apps and all. These are the jump server softwares. Okay, so first you will connect to the jump server, then from there you are able to connect to your regular servers. Okay, from here once you connected to the jump server, then from your jump server usually we can connect to the Windows server. This is how it will work. Okay, so first you have to connect to your jump server. Jump server example for jump server is Citrix apps. Citrix apps is one application. Okay, by using this jump server, first we'll connect to the jump server. Okay, like same we'll give the there will be some icons will be there. Citrix apps means Citrix icon will be installed on your laptop. You will simply double click, you will open that Citrix apps. You have to provide your credentials to open to log into the Citrix apps. Then from there you can access any of your office servers. Clear? Fine, right? If you are doing work from office, this is how the setup will be. All interfaces will be connected to the office internet, guys. All interfaces will be connected. Everything, your Citrix machine, your Windows server, your laptop, everything will be connected to your office internet. Right? Fine. Okay. So what if you are doing work from home? How the setup will be? Okay. What if you are doing work from home? Let me go with this one. Right. Okay. So imagine this is the home. You are doing work from home. Okay. Fine. And now your laptop is there in the home. Laptop. Delete this. Let me go with this one. Okay. So now you are doing work from home, guys. What is the difference between work from office and work from home? What extra things you have to take care? Guys, these are very important. So some people already working, so you know everything. Okay, how we are connecting. Some are like they are non-computer background, non-science background. Even okay, it's not like I'm going to discuss. I'm going to treat. Okay, if you have knowledge, there is no difference like that. I'll treat everyone as the same. So I'll explain everything. Okay, so even though if it is useful for one person, that is important, right? So I promised that I'm going to teach from very basic. So these are the basics. Okay, if you know it, that's not an issue. Okay, just bear for a minute or 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We'll complete this one. Any special case, we need to log in Citrix apps. No special case, Shivaji. Okay, there is no special case due to extra security. Okay, they will implement this jump servers and all only for extra security. Okay, it's not like everyone will go with the Citrix apps. It's for extra security. Some companies will go for okay this one Citrix apps, or else different jump server softwares are there. Citrix as is somewhat famous software jump server. Okay, right. Okay, so if you're doing work from home, what is the extra setup? Everything is same, no issues, everything is same. We are very Yes, Srinivas. Okay, so no problem. That's why I'm explaining everything. Okay, nothing to worry. Okay, so if you're doing work from home, what we are going to do, what extra setup we'll have? Okay, so there it will comes. Okay, VPN. Okay, so we will have a separate software, VPN software, virtual private network. VPN means virtual private network. So what it will do, guys? It will simply help you to create a bridge between your home internet. You might use Airtel, you might use Jio, you might use Hathway, or you might use Act FiberNet, whatever you are using. Okay, so this VPN software will simply create a bridge between your home internet and office internet, guys. Okay, VPN software will simply create a bridge between your home internet and your office internet. Okay, so once you just open your laptop in your home, immediately if you want to connect to the servers, immediately what is the first thing you have to do, guys? What is the first thing you have to do?
We need to check the network.
Okay, first thing you have to do is you have to open VPN software in your laptop. You have to connect to your office network first. First open VPN software in your laptop and you have to connect to the office network. Okay, right. Let me draw the diagram. Okay, so from your home, first home internet, you will connect to the VPN. VPN means it will be there in your laptop only. Separate tool will be there, VPN. Can anyone tell me any famous softwares for VPN, guys? Any softwares? Anyone knows any softwares for VPN? Okay, 40 client. Okay, good. Okay, might be you are using that one. Okay, so we have very famous software for VPN. Okay, Pulse Secure. Okay, Pulse Secure is the famous software. Pulse Secure. Okay, Cisco Connect is also a famous VPN software. Pulse Secure is a very famous VPN software. Okay, Global Protect is also some famous okay VPN software. So once you just open your laptop in your home, first you have to open this app Pulse Secure or Cisco Connect or Global Protect. Okay, whatever it is, whatever your office is following, you have to open that software and you have to first connect to your office internet. Okay, first you have to connect to your office internet. Once you are connected to the office network, then you can access your servers. Okay, you can directly access your servers. It depends. Okay, it depends. If you have direct access, you can directly access again. If you have like indirect access from any jump server, then again from your network to jump server you have to connect, and again you have to connect like this. Okay, so this is how usually will connect to the servers in the organization. Okay, so it depends, either like this you will connect to the server or directly RDP you will do. And here what you are going to do, you will open MSTSC or RDP. Okay, you will open same. Once you are connected to the office network, guys, then same thing. You will open RDP in your laptop and you will enter your credentials like this. You will enter server name, server IP address. Using this VPN, we need to connect just office network. Why can't we connect directly? Security, Shashi. Security, okay. So it's not like directly. See, if you want to connect, if you want to access any of the office resources, definitely you should connect to the office network only. Okay, definitely you should connect. You have to access only through office network. Okay, so office might use different networks and all. Different internet, intranet is there. Internet is different, intranet is different. Okay, internet means you can access public sites and all. Okay, you can access everything in the internet. Intranet is nothing but you can access only office resources. Okay, so the whole organization will have intranet setup. All the servers, your laptops, okay, jump servers, your printers, Xerox machines, everything will be connected to your intranet. Okay, so you cannot directly connect from your home to office servers. you have to use one third-party software that is called VPN software. Using the VPN software for the extra security, using the VPN software, you are able to connect to the office network first. Once your office network verifies that you are a valid user, then your office networks allows you to connect to your machines, servers, or whatever it is, printers, Xerox machines, whatever you want to access, you can connect. Okay, so VPN will simply act as a bridge between your home internet and office network. So if you are doing work from office, no need to connect to the VPN, guys. That's why, okay, here, if you are connected to the office network directly, you're the authorized user. You can use office network. You can connect to office network. So once you just go to the company, you will use office network LAN cable, or you will use office Wi-Fi, so that you are going to connect to the office network. So it won't ask extra security. Why? Because you're in office. But if you are doing work from home, not sure whether you are doing or on behalf of you any other person is doing, not sure, right? Or else if we don't have a VPN, okay, it's not possible to connect two networks without VPN. You cannot directly. Why? Because you can use Hathway. I may use Act Internet. Another person may use some other Geo Fiber net, different internet. So they are going to provide access for each network, or what? Your office is going to provide access for all the networks? No, whoever you are, you have to connect to our network first. To connect to the office network, we'll use VPN softwares. Okay, so guys, the meeting is going to close now. Please, let me reopen. Please join immediately. Okay, please join immediately with the same meeting link.